What's good, Kenganda? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode here on the channel. And I have a really good friend of mine for our Dear African American playlist. We try to leverage entrepreneurship tips for the African American community or the African diaspora community. If you're looking to possibly relocate to the continent one day, or even just stay in America. We have the brother who's a very talented entrepreneur, Andre Hatchett. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
What's going on, Kenganda and the whole crew? Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for having me again, O'Shea. Andre C. Hatchett here, longtime entrepreneur, investor, property owner, course content creator, mobile notary public, and everything positive to do with Black and African people. I'm down with it.
All right. So let me, talk about something here. A few weeks ago or last week, me and a brother named Knock Measy, he's an African American brother. He talked about why he felt most African American repats failed in Africa, right? And you have a podcast which you operate, it's a video podcast on your YouTube channel. And when I was listening to it, and it's getting, some pretty good views there.
Yeah,
I was watching you. You're talking about, why people don't understand the power of outsourcing. And I just connected the two. I said, well, this is probably why a lot of people in America fail in business. It could be, and definitely when a person moves to the continent or to someplace else, they don't understand as an entrepreneur the power of outsourcing for a business owner. Why doesn't the African American community or the African diaspora community really focus on the art of outsourcing?
A lot of people don't focus on it because they think that them doing everything is a positive thing. So I'm my own man. I'm my own boss. I run everything myself. It sounds good, right? So, and also it can be good for the ego as well, that you feel you run every part of your show. But meanwhile, it stunts your growth. And then also people don't want to pay for it. So outsourcing to quality people, hiring, subcontracting, all that stuff, you have to pay quality people well in order for you to keep them and retain them. So it's a mixture of those things. And some people honestly just don't think that big. So some people think being self-employed, I was going over the quadrant earlier, the employee, self-employed, business owner, investor, that being self-employed is the pinnacle, and that is making it, and that is the creme de la creme. Now, for some individuals, it is. Them being their own man, their own woman, having no employees, being a solopreneur, as it's called, is a victory for some people. For guys like us, man, one, like we don't want to do all the work ourselves, and right. Two, we know that we don't know everything, and we don't have the time to try to learn everything. So let me bring in someone of quality to do what they do. I do what I do, and now I have a well-oiled machine.
Let's talk about that, because you talked about the solopreneur, and then when we talk about people that want to come to Africa or in the Black communities, people have businesses, people, they have like $5,000 or $10,000. That's not bad, right?
No, not bad.
But it's pretty good. But when you start making money, let's say in a business, then one of the things, even on YouTube, I was talking to a good friend of mine named Maso Glory, who's a Ugandan YouTuber here, and she's doing really, really good. And I always try to tell her, now that you're earning money, it's now the time to start outsourcing.
Bingo.
But the thing about it, I understand what most people, especially in our communities, in the Pan-African community or in the African-American community, it's like, well, I got this money doing this myself. Like I was the engine that catalyzed this income growth. So, I mean, hey, well, I've been doing it like this. I mean, so why should I invest into someone else? How do you get over that particular thing? Because a person's already making, let's say they're already making pretty good. They're already doing well. They're making a good amount of money, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's online, whether it's in person. By themselves, they're already running a pretty good machine. Then to invest in someone else because of fear they may steal or something like that. Yeah. How do you convince a person that you know, hey, here's a chance for you to outsource your product and become better?
It's tough. It's tough because you have to overcome a lot of hurdles, and also the trust factor. Not even the issues that we have amongst us as a race. The trust that I've been doing a good or great job. They might not do a good or great job as I am. Then I might lose clients, and that is. Let me say right now, that is gonna happen. You're gonna have someone who's gonna come in there and mess up, who won't do it as good as you do, and you have to retrain them and or rehire. That's part of it. I haven't seen a lot of people who make over $250,000 who are solopreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it. I'm sure they're out there. So to make $250,000, let's just say you have to have some form of team around you. Do you want the kind of numbers? Do you want to hit those kind of numbers, or are you fine with the 60s, 120s, 150s, or maybe even 200? As you grow financially, you're going to need better people around you. And here's something also that a lot of people don't think of. I was in a car accident, O'Shea, right? I was in a car accident in 2015 in New York City. Mm-hmm. I couldn't move well for months. Like a firm 60 days, very little movement. I was in physical therapy for a couple of years after that.
Wow.
Me being self-employed at that time, or mostly self-employed, my income dropped because I couldn't do the jobs myself. I couldn't physically go to do my job myself. And that showed me that I have to be able to work my brain just as well or more than I do my body.
Mm-hmm.
Because I couldn't move. So imagine a successful plumber doing well, clients out the gazoo, making $150 a year. Unfortunately, he gets into a car accident. He hurts his hand, he hurts his leg, he hurts his back. He can't move. His business stops. Now, that same plumber who's making $150, let's say that he spends $40,000 a year on an assistant or manager. He wants to go on vacation. He wants to just leave the business for a while. He wants to take his kid to school to go away to college. Mm-hmm. Now his assistant can go and hire subcontractors to go do those jobs for him. He's still making a cut from each assignment. Let's say each of my job's paying $500. He's still getting $300 or so from each assignment, or $200 from each assignment. And now he has a business opposed to being self-employed. The body can and will give out. The mind also can and might give out. Don't wait until it has to happen for you to implement systems into your business. So right now, let me get wrong there. It's taking me a while to get where I'm at, system-wise, organization-wise. I'm on a fancy camera now, like y'all use on Kenganda. Like it took me a while. It took me a while to get here, right?
Right.
But I could shut my phone off and say, "Hey, Annalisa, she's my manager. I'm gonna be out. Only text me or call me for an emergency, and everything will run smoothly." So let's say that I pay her $500 a week. The show is going to go on, and I could be on the beach, in the crib, in the woods, whatever. The show will go on. So I don't want to even risk me not being able to fulfill something for me not to get paid. No. I get paid every day, regardless if I'm running it, she's running it, or whatever. So it's worth it, man. It's worth it. And you don't want to wait until you need something in order to start something. Oftentimes we suddenly get into high gear when we need something. Oh, I need a loan. I need assistance or VAs or whatever. Do it as soon as you have the money. Not even excess money. Enough money. You want to get your team in place.
Say it one more time, because that's a very great thing. As soon as you have enough, talk about that.
As soon as you have enough money, you want to get your team in place. You might say, well, I want to have $10,000 saved. I want to have enough money to pay them for 6 months. No, you need to have enough money to pay them for a month or a few weeks, because you're going to burn out or you're going to get tired of what you're doing. So, O'Shea, even though you're doing well, I'm the best you've ever had financially, and me as well. I can't speak for you. You can answer this one. I still get bored sometimes.
Right.
Even though I'm doing extremely well, I manage my own time for the most part, I still get bored. I need my business to still run even if I get bored for like a couple of days or so. I need it to run on maximum occupancy and fluency, even though I might need a break from it for a couple of days. So you want to get these people on deck in your wheelhouse, because these things are going to happen. And what happens a lot of times is people quit their successful operation because they get bored, they're not passionate about it, they're tired about it. When all you have to do is hire a VA to handle some stuff. All you have to do is hire a manager to handle stuff that you don't want to handle anymore. Let the business still run while you go figure out what else you want to do.
In VA for virtual assistant, for people who don't know that. And guys, I have the best manager on planet Earth,
Jonita.
Yeah, so Jonita has went leaps and bounds, set up the new apartment, set up everything for me, especially in Uganda. But let me just go back to this, right? One thing I noticed from, because a lot of us that are like, tech entrepreneurs, and I guess you can say that because, we're using the internet to grow our business. A lot of people that are coming from the diaspora, let's say if they're going back to Africa, one of the issues that I'm seeing that a lot of people have who want to go back and start a business there is they don't really have any kind of system in place.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I want to say this. I was talking to Cedric Singleton. Cedric Singleton is the owner of Black Market Records, the most successful record label hip hop that's ever came out of Sacramento. He's now in Kampala, Uganda. I know him personally.
Wow.
His system that he has, he's been running that system for about 31 years, but it's been changed here. The only thing that's a challenge for him is learning how the business is to work in Uganda or Kenya, wherever he's at. That's the only challenge. But a lot of African Americans I see when they want to go to Ghana, they want to go to Rwanda, to the Gambia, they don't even have a system in place that could even help them outsource. Like they don't even know the value of, I need to have a system in place to train employees, to bring a person up to certain standards. I understand this business, but I don't even have the skill to teach this person how to do it and how to break it down. How do you get over that and train people to help you outsource?
Yeah, you have to accept that it's going to cost money.
Okay.
So just embrace that it's going to cost money. Except you might have to hire multiple people to finish the task. So I have some people who are great starters, right? They can get the flyer started. That might have to hire another guy or gal to finish the flyer or finish the logo. So you might say, Jerry, how come you have to hire so many people? Because that's what it takes sometimes. That's what it freaking takes. Sometimes it takes multiple people doing the same task to get it done. So embrace the fact it's going to cost you money to get quality work done. Embrace the fact that it's going to be boring as well. So systems, strategy are boring, usually, and expensive. People...
They're boring? Say it again?
Systems they're boring and expensive. System, strategy, oftentimes they're boring to implement. They're just it's redundant. It's a lot of the same old stuff you're teaching people. You're hoping they get it. It's a lot of training. A lot of effort goes into it, but you can't get around it. I tried for years to get around this stuff. Once I embraced the fact that this is going to take longer than I want it to take, it's going to cost me more money than I want to spend, but I got to do it. It was easier to accept it. Over time, we're looking for the shortcut. And the only shortcut that I've seen that actually works is paying quality people to do their job. I tried every other one. The only shortcut that works for them is paying quality people to do their job. Right. That's it. And it takes time. You just embrace the time that it takes. Just say, yo, I'm doing this level. It's okay, but I can get higher. I can get to a higher level. Embrace the fact it's going to cost money. Embrace the fact that you're going to have to implement systems, and just know that you aren't going to get there on your own doing what you are doing. I mean, like we've seen a lot of public figures out here who take a lot of pride in doing everything themselves. They say it. They say, like, I'm my own man, I'm my own woman. I do everything myself. And it takes you a really long time to get ahead that way, man. It ain't worth it. It is not worth it.
Yeah, let me also add to that, because the Kenganda YouTube channel is a project that I've been working on since 2018, going back and forth to Africa, not getting any views on the channel, not having, the channel's doing great now, and the brand
doing great now. It's doing great now. 2+ years later,
yes,
2+ years later, it's doing great now.
Yes, because we had to get Jonita, then we had to get Satati, then we had to get Quasi, and then we had to get everybody else, and then they had to all learn how to do it, and then we had to get all the computer stuff, and then we had to get where the internet was. We had to solve a lot of problems in the business. But one of the things I like about outsourcing and paying people that are really good is that, for me, it gives me a lot more time to do something else.
Yeah.
To solve the problems in the business. Because what's one thing I've learned about entrepreneurship, especially if you're in the continent of Africa, there's a lot of problems. There's problems anywhere. But in Uganda, there's a lot of problems. And then it's like, wow, okay, if I have people doing this, it frees my time up to focus on these other opportunities that I can grasp. And then, let's talk about that. The time that you now have to even do this now.
Yeah. So, my manager just texted me about some payment structure that we're working on. So I guess some students probably emailed her or the students, and she handles those. She handles those, so I don't have to. So I tell it to her one time. She knows. She will relay the message 50 times. So here's the thing about doing everything yourself. Oh shit, that we didn't talk about. It's mentally exhausting. There's a thing. There's physical fatigue. I'm at the gym for 2 hours, I'm done. Right, an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm done. Then there's decision fatigue and mental exhaustion fatigue. So that's when you are thinking so much, you get tired from thinking, from making all the decisions. You get decision fatigue. You are going to collapse mentally. Like all these decisions. So if I got to answer 50 emails, the same question, one, I might get annoyed. Right, just from human nature, I might get annoyed, and it's not their fault. It's my fault because I didn't freaking hire somebody. So I got to do that. Then I got to come give my A game to you. Like that's just a lot. Like that's just a lot of stuff. And there are people who can do these things for you. You just got to let it go. A whole lot of it is ego. A whole lot of it is ego, pride, and the fear that they're gonna mess up. Right. If you want to, people are gonna mess up. People are gonna mess up. You just gotta fire them quickly, or retrain them quickly, or train them, or hold their hand while you're training them to a certain extent, so to minimize the mistakes. But for me, answering all these emails, then it come to me talking to you here, then me trying to get a relationship, like all of this stuff, it adds up, man. It adds up, and it's tiring. You have to make decisions on everything. You have to implement everything. You have to teach everything. You have to do all this stuff yourself. And you're going to look up and say, yo, I'm tired. I am bored. I'm annoyed at the world and people. It's just not a good way to live. Man. It's just not a good way to live, man. So I don't advise it. I don't like it. And it's, you have such a better, I have such a high quality of life now. It's insane. It's the same because I put years into grinding it out. And now I have people in place who just make my life so much easier. And I pay people well. I pay people well. I pay people more than they ask for a lot of times.
Say it again.
I pay people more than they ask for a lot of times. If we agree on a certain number, did you see the Michael Jordan documentary on ESPN?
No, I didn't.
All right, so in the episode where Scottie Pippen was talking about his contract, right? The Bulls offered him a contract. It was a long contract. He outperformed the contract. No one's fault or right or wrong, but he outperformed the contract. The Bulls could have given him more money off a GP because he outperformed the contract. They said, no, you signed it. We told you don't sign it. He signed it because he has some sick family members and he wants to just insure the money. I get it. Me personally, if we agree on a certain number and you outperform that contract, I'm going to give you more money.
Why is that?
Because it will take longer to find a person as good as you are. If you leave. And you're going to see how much money I'm making and you're going to feel some kind of way and resent me. So I'm just going to give it to you. It takes time to go hire someone new. You have to trust them. You have to train them. I'm just going to try to keep the good person as long as I can.
I'm glad we're leading into that point, because as an entrepreneur, for those of us that do businesses that are, internet based, and a lot of their brothers and sisters that are looking to, because of coronavirus, now that's kind of where, we've been going, and now we're really going there much faster. When people talk about the continent of Africa as an entrepreneur, people are saying, well, the rates that I can pay in the, Asia, the third world, but in the continent, I can get quality people for less money, which is true, obviously.
Yep.
But then what I don't like is you start to see people that, they want good work, and the person is very talented, and then they're saying like, I want to give this person $100 a month, and the reason why I want to do that is because, they should be glad to have a job anyway. And I know that's the attitude from some entrepreneurs I've talked, not all, but I've talked to people like that in Uganda, where they're like, well, they should be lucky. No one can give them a job. I'm hiring them. Like, even if it's $80 a month or $50 a month, we're not talking about no transportation, no food or anything, working them like 30 days in a month. They should be happy that I'm even giving them the job. And then you see that some people that are from the diaspora, especially the brothers that are from Africa, and they understand what the pay scale is, they may go back with that same attitude, and then that employee comes back and steals, right? And then they're upset. Yeah. So let's talk about that. Like, because for me, I have the same mentality as you, as I pay way beyond. Like, I have guys living in my place right now. They live there for free. I don't take it out of their salary.
Wow.
I pay transportation. I pay food. I'm paying health now. So let's talk about that, because a lot of people want to come to Africa and be like, well, I'm giving them a job. They should be glad to get it. and that should be that. What's your response to people who may have that mindset?
I mean, it's a twofold thing. Some of us Americans are going there with almost like a colonizer mentality per se. So if we're going there to tell people that you should be grateful I'm doing this, like, you're like Whitey. You're like Whitey. You go there with an elitist nonsense attitude. So first of all, it's wrong to do. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. And if you're going to the continent as an American, you should be trying to enrich and uplift, not bring down to the common denominator that's currently existing.
That's also Uganda for the most part, though. That's how Ugandan elite and Kenyan elite people have that same mindset also.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. It's not cool. It's just like, there's a thing about life and business that I could get away with this, O'Shea, but I don't want to, because it's going to make me feel bad. And whenever I have crossed that line, well, it's legal, it's not unethical, but like it kind of borders that line. I didn't feel good, and it always backfired on me. Always. I sleep well at night because I do the right thing. Now, some people might not appreciate it. Some people do. Some people don't. I might have overpaid him or her, and they left. Oh, cool. But I feel better at night. I sleep better at night. You just can't go wrong in life doing the right thing. So I first of all think we need that kind of attitude. Let's just do the right thing. Let's just do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, and because the longevity of it. So here's also thing about doing the right thing is, and going above and beyond. Your reputation lives on in current life and when we transition. So, like, you introduced me to people who are in your immediate circle because you see how I roll.
Right.
I mean, same people that they've told you the same thing about me, how I've been with them. So you feel comfortable. You feel comfortable putting me on with these people who are in your immediate inner circle because I've done well by you and I've done well by other people who we both know. Once your reputation starts to dip, it's so much harder to gain contacts it's so much harder to gain relationships because you always have to prove yourself. When you do the noble thing, when you pay fairly, when you treat people fairly, it's kind of like passive income, because people are referring you for work, for assignments, for business services, for courses, for whatever, for coaching. I'm a hardcore believer, man, and I can only be above and beyond, and we should be approaching the continent with a lot of love and respect.
All right. Well, you know, Andre, you know, you're a very talented entrepreneur. I thank you for coming over and you know, edifying us on this Dear African American segment. Tell the people about some of the things that you offer. I know a lot of people were really enriched with your services, but what all do you offer for those brothers and sisters that want to get in contact with you? Yeah, man. So
Well, sure, we have the links below, but we have a mobile notary course where we trained, I think now, by like 10,000 people. We have a lot of people earn a good side income, roughly about $500 a week or so, and a good full-time income. I've even had some students, O'Shea, who hit around $12,000 a month.
Whoa.
12 bands a month, yeah, a few of them. As a mobile notary public. So if you guys want a good side business and or full-time business that you can either run yourself and or hire someone to run it for you, and do the assignments for you, hit the links below. We would love to show you how I've made money for the past 14 plus years as a mobile notary public. And I have a company which has been around since 2005, where I've done a lot of jobs myself, and I've hired a lot of other people to do work for me. And it's been my most consistent business to date, and I'm 38 years old. And I've been selling lemonade and candy in school since I was like 12 and 10 years old. So I'm a veteran at this, man.
All right. Well, guys, I really thank you for being here. Shout out to our brother Andre Hatchett for a very informative episode. You know, I like to bring on talented entrepreneurs that can edify the Pan-African community space, the African American community space. Whether you're abroad or you're here, if you're in Black Britain, if you're in you're in America, I'll leave also Andre Hatchett's information below to his YouTube channel, and we'll put up a screen grab of it here in the video because we're going to edit this. And again, Andre, thank you so much for a great show. Any last words?
If anyone is thinking about moving to the continent, let's say from the Americas, move there with strategy and less emotion. Move there. Let's actually do a video about that next time, O'Shea.
Yeah.
Moving to the continent, move to the continent, move to Africa. More strategy, less emotion.
Right. I like that already. Well, brother, thank you so much. And guys, keep it real. Kenganda forever.
Kenganda. Peace.